Welcome everybody. We are here with Michela Mapelli and Mario Pasquato. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Welcome.
We are here again to talk, to investigate a little bit this strange but interesting relationship between fellow and supervisor, which is very interesting because every time is different. And so let's start with Michela. How is to work with Mario? How did your collaboration start?
Well, I would say it's really exciting to work with Mario because he brought in our group something totally new, which is machine learning. We are expert of astrophysical black holes and star cluster dynamics, but we approached this topic from, let's say, more traditional point of view with simulations and numerical models. We didn't have experience about machine learning, and this is why we started collaborating with Mario. Actually, I first met him a few years ago during a conference in Bologna, and I immediately got really excited about his talk about what he was doing, because I saw that there was a lot of potential in applying the new techniques of machine learning to what we do. So I started chatting with Mario, and this in the end, years after, led to his Marie Curie Fellowship.
Mario, we know a little bit about these conferences and these meetings that are in a part very, let's say, formal and dedicated to the academical part, and on the other part they are very informal and people can chat and people can meet, and that's in many cases that's why the collaboration starts. Do you agree with that? Is this
Sure.
your experience?
Actually, depends on the size of the meeting, but this meeting was very, let's say, focused. So we would already know what the formal part was about, because you all know the people, and you know this person is coming and is talking about the new observations of the star cluster or something like that. And of course the crucial part is when you still could do that, was meeting people in person and talking about, you don't just send an email saying, I want to work with you. This would be, I mean,
Okay.
you can. People do that. They cold email asking for positions and stuff, but it's much easier and much more natural, to just be sitting at a table, eating some lasagna and having a discussion.
Yeah, just an informal way to start, and then you get in touch, you get to know the person, all the people.
I mean, you need to know the person in person, like, because, well, it's a matter of trust after all, right? So
yeah, if I can chime in, there is also some human chemistry that is important, and it's something that you realize only when you actually talk to people in person.
And Michela, regarding the group you have to lead, I mean, sometimes I think it's difficult to choose the right person, or you have choices to make. And what are the thing you keep in mind when you have to make a choice? Maybe you don't sleep very well at night. I don't know if that's the case. I hope not, but
my conscience is haunting me every day.
No, it's difficult because there are lots of good people out there, and I mean, if you have to make a choice, it's always a little difficult, maybe.
That is a super good question, and I'm really happy about doing this supervisor thing, but it's kind of a nightmare too, because especially in Italy, nobody teaches you how to become a supervisor. So it's something you have to find out by yourself. And when you have to find out something that's difficult by yourself, of course, you make mistakes and you go on with trial and errors. And it's particularly delicate thing because it's trial and error with the life of people. So if you screw up with a PhD project, you screw up with the career of a young person. So this is one of my deepest fears. But yeah, with time, I have been a supervisor for like 8 years. And with time, you learn. And one of the crucial things, yeah, is with choosing the right people. With choosing the right people, which is a matter of writing their best job announcement, and then be very careful during the selection, the hiring process and the interview. So you have to pay attention both about the background, the scientific background of the candidates, and about, as I say, the human chemistry. You have to also pay attention to the soft skills and to the attitude of
it's
the
not it's not a matter of paper and
it's not just a matter of papers. But with Marie Curie fellowships, you don't have basically to do that. You just think about the 4 or 5 best people doing something, some specific topic around the world, and then you contact them and you ask, are you interested in applying for a Marie Curie fellowship with us? So for the Marie Curie fellowship, everything is easier.
On the other side, Mario, one of the typical questions is how to get the grant and how to create to write a good project. What are your tips and tricks, if you have some of them?
So well, I have too many of them actually. Probably
just maybe the best two.
The most important thing would be to be in touch very early on with the host and with the university. In this case, with Padova University, there is an amazing office for this. So I attended the school, let's say, the meetings that were meant to prepare us to get to write a good proposal and to make it watertight, because, well, there are actually technical issues that you need to know. You can be as good a researcher as possible, but you don't necessarily know how the grant will be evaluated, which sentences to put there exactly, to show that you were thinking of this. Yeah, that's the most important thing. And of course, you need to have a good project. But if you are still in science after a few years and doing your own research, it's because you're driven by some questions. So you see that the state of the art is not good in a sense, and you think, oh, I can make it better. Come on.
You feel there is a filter gap.
And that's where you are driven to write something. You probably would write something anyway, and then you have to hammer it into being the project that will get the grant.
One last question for you guys. How are your plans for the future? Because the topic you are investigating is it's very interesting, and it's a bit complicated for most of the people.
Actually, the topic lends itself very well to being popularized on the internet, because we will produce some very nice images of virtual galaxies, so that the whole project is about, in a sense, having these neural networks hallucinate simulations instead of actually running the simulations, which means you can cast it in terms of, this artificial intelligence is imagining the universe, and then we will see the results in terms of pictures.
So we get in touch to see the result of all this I don't know if the gesture is correct, but I imagine something like
if I can stress one thing here, is that it's really interdisciplinary, the project of Mario. So basically everybody across disciplines can find our result useful. And I also like to stress, when Mario told you, we can actually substitute an actual astrophysical simulation with a machine learning algorithm. This has also some implication for climate changes, global warming. Actually, one of the problems of being a numerical physicist is that you run a lot of simulations that require a lot of computing power. Yep. So a lot of energy is used for that and blah, blah, blah. If the project Mario is successful, we can actually substitute a lot of those really expensive simulations with a very simple calculation by artificial intelligence. So this will have, it seems strange because it is an astrophysical project, but this will have implication even for environment related issues.
So let's say it's once again, it's interesting when different areas mix them together. There's always some unexpected maybe output, and then that is good for everybody. So thank you, Mario and Michela, for your time. It was super interesting. We hope we can see in person soon, and maybe with a pint of science and of beer, of course. So thanks again, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Pietro.
Thank you.
Have
Bye
a nice
bye.
day too. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.